Okay, today we're going to be talking about how to find the inverse of a 2 by 2 matrix. Okay, so a few things. Here's the matrix we have. We want to find the inverse of it. One thing to keep in mind, that the inverse of any matrix, we're going to kind of follow this. The inverse equals 1 over, this represents the determinant of that matrix. Hopefully you know what that is from earlier videos. And then the usual matrix, it's A, B, C, and D. But for the inverse, kind of flip these two around on this diagonal, and then you just change the sign on these two. Okay? In later videos we'll explain how we do that. But for now, that's just the general, how we find the inverse of a 2 by 2. Okay? So the first thing you always want to find, the determinant. Determinant 0, we know right away that no inverse exists. So we want to find the determinant first. Okay? So the determinant of A, go back to this guy. Remember, take the diagonals, multiply them together and subtract. Get -1 times 7, multiply them this way, minus 3 times 0, well that's just 0. So the determinant of A, -7 minus 0, okay. It's just -7, no big deal. So now we use our notation. Here's A, the inverse of A is A, and there's like a little -1 up there. That denotes the inverse. So A inverse equals 1 over the determinant, so 1 over -7. Then we multiply it. Our matrix, remember, goes A, B, C, and D. We switch the A and D. So we're going to switch 7 and -1. Don't worry about switching the signs. And then for B and C, we just switch the signs around. So B was a +3, now it's going to be a -3. And 0 was 0, so 0 stays the same. And there you go. This is the inverse of that. Some people have you multiply through by the 1 over -7. That's fine too. But this is the inverse. Okay? So again, this is just scalar multiplication. Just multiply each term by the -1/7. Okay, let's have you work on one. Work on one, then after you're done, work on one, pause the video, and then check after you're done to see if you did it right. Okay? Okay. This one. Okay, take a second to find the inverse of that. Welcome back. Again, first thing we want to do, find the determinant. So the determinant of this, remember we always have the parallel bars represent that, 6 times 12 minus, and be careful here, it's 10 times a -1, or -1 times 10. You're always subtracting those terms. Okay? Here, you're going to be subtracting a negative, so you got to be careful there. Okay? Good. So it's 72 minus a -10. That becomes plus, so the determinant equals 82. Okay? Now we find the inverse. So A inverse equals 1 over the determinant times the matrix. Switch these guys around, 12 and 6. And then you just switch the sign. This was a -1, becomes a +1, was a +10, becomes a -10. Bam. And again, some people, you distribute the 1 over 82. That's perfectly fine. I like to keep it like this because then when you go to multiply the inverse by something, it's easier to multiply the matrices together instead of that crazy fraction, but whatever. Okay, hopefully this helped. This is how I find the inverse of a 2 by 2. Inverse of a 3 by 3 is a little bit more trickier. Okay?